Bird battle in Philly. Those pesky Cardinals shocked the Eagles. Last chance. Eagles down 4, 7 seconds left. Jalen Hurts to the end zone. Intercepted. Cardinals pull off the upset 35-31. The 49ers watching the final play from the tunnel in Landover, Maryland at FedEx Field. They celebrate with the 49ers win and the Eagles loss. San Francisco clinches the 1 seed in the NFC. The Eagles and Cowboys now tied for first place in the NFC East. Dallas owns the tiebreaker. Cowboys play the Commanders. Eagles play the Giants in Week 18. And here's a look at the NFC playoff picture up to the minute. 49ers clinched the 1 seed for the first time since 2019. They won the NFC that year, but lost in the Super Bowl to Kansas City. Cowboys move into the 2 seed. Lions are the 3 seed. They would need to beat the Vikings and have the Eagles and Cowboys lose to earn the 2 seed. Bucks are the 4 seed. Despite the loss Sunday, they're still in the driver's seat for the NFC South. Eagles, Rams, and Packers round out the playoff field right now. Here's what's at stake in Week 18. Dallas clinches the division with a win at Washington or a Philadelphia loss. Philadelphia clinches the division with a win at the Giants and a Dallas loss. Tampa Bay clinches the NFC South with a win at Carolina. The winner of Atlanta-New Orleans clinches the division if Tampa Bay loses that game. All right, back here with Bryant McFadden. Cowboys control their own destiny for the NFC East title. Dallas 3-5 on the road, but they beat Washington 45-10 in Week 12. BMAC, do you expect Dallas to win and clinch the NFC East?
Yes, I expect the Cowboys to go on the road, play against a Washington team that has nothing to play for. The U-Haul trucks are packed, getting ready for the offseason. I don't expect to see a lot from Washington. And I understand, yes, the Cowboys at home, they're a different ball club than what we've witnessed on the road. But yet and still, the sense of urgency, it has to be there for the Cowboys. Everything has fallen in their lap, even a few missed calls here or there. And, of course, the Arizona Cardinals being the Cowboys' best friend, taking care of the business against the Eagles today in Philadelphia. So with all of that being said, yes, I expect the Cowboys to take care of business.
Which means this streak will continue because we haven't had back-to-back division winners in the NFC East since the Eagles won 4 straight from 2001 to 2004. Yep. All right, in the NFC South, Tampa Bay clinches the division with a win at Carolina. If Tampa Bay loses, unlikely, but the winner of Atlanta-New Orleans would clinch the division. This feels like a virtual lock. But are you confident Tampa Bay, considering they lost to New Orleans on Sunday? Do the Bucs beat the Panthers? The Panthers, the worst team in the league, in Week 18 and win the division?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, today at home against the New Orleans Saints, everything was in front of Tampa to take care of their business and to be in a better position to have the division locked up. But they got caught sleeping, at the wheel. And because of that, now they're in a desperation situation where it's a must-win. And I feel like they will take care of their business against the worst team in the National Football League in the Carolina Panthers. But this is the one year when you talk about watching the NFL, even when you think you know, you don't know. We've seen so many upsets take place. Heck, today, the Arizona Cardinals beat Philadelphia. Heck, the Arizona Cardinals, at one point in time early in the year, beat the Dallas Cowboys at home. So it's one of these weird years in the National Football League where, you think you know, but you don't know. And Carolina's a team that has nothing to play for, but this is the same Carolina Panther team weeks ago beat the Atlanta Falcons. They're in Charlotte as well. But I feel like seeing what happened today with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers against the New Orleans Saints, it really opened their eyes. And I feel like the sense of urgency, the lack thereof that we witnessed today will not be there on the road in Charlotte against the Carolina Panthers. Must-win situation. I believe the Buccaneers will win.
All right, now we're going to look into your crystal ball here. Take us through your playoff picture, what the field will look like according to Bryant McFadden when all is said and done. What do you got? Take us through it.
NFC-wise, when you think about the division winners, of course, San Francisco, they've already taken care of their business, right? You see there on your graphic. Dallas will win the division, as I mentioned. The Lions already won their division. Here's what we talk about. The Buccaneers taking care of their business. So I have the Eagles, Rams, and Seattle. Currently, the Seattle Seahawks, they're on the outside looking in. But the opportunity for Seattle to get in comes from the hands of the Chicago Bears. The Chicago Bears will beat the Green Bay Packers in Lambeau Field. If that happens, Seattle gets in. But also, you have to remember what's at stake for Green Bay. Green Bay, they're in a must-win situation. They win, they get in. And unfortunately for the Green Bay Packer fans, I don't want any trouble. I don't want any issues. But I'm saying I think Chicago, the Bears, will beat the Green Bay Packers in Lambeau Field. And Seattle will take care of their business. Seattle has not Arizona. They have Arizona, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep,
they play against the Arizona Cardinals.
They do.
I think Seattle will take care of the business against the Arizona Cardinals. And with the loss for Green Bay by the Chicago Bears, that will get Seattle into the playoffs.
So you have a couple of rematches then in the wild card round.
Yes,
you'd
sir.
You'd have the really salty, saucy one would be Lions-Rams. Matthew Stafford, the guy that was drafted and traded from the Lions to the Rams in the first round.
Yep.
And I think the Rams would not win that game in Detroit.
Really?
I think Detroit wins that game. That's my pick.
Yeah.
And then you got Dallas and Seattle in a rematch, and that was a really good game.
Yeah. Dallas.
If Dallas is your 2 seed, they're playing Seattle. That'd be a rematch
and
from
Philly
earlier in
would
the
go
season.
to Tampa.
Correct.
Philly would go to Tampa. And didn't we see Philly and Tampa face off in the playoffs years ago? I think it was when Tom Brady was there, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Yeah. So that would be a rematch of some years ago.
I like your playoff field.
Yeah.
I do. Now let's look at the AFC playoff picture, because this is also juicy. The AFC runs through Baltimore after clinching the #1 seed. Miami, the 2 seed for now. The Chiefs are the 3 seed. They clinched the AFC West for the 8th year in a row. Jags are the 4 seed for now. Browns are locked into the 5 seed. Colts have the 7 seed with the Texans and Steelers in the hunt. 3 spots up for grabs in the AFC. And here's what's at stake in Week 18 in the AFC.
I love it.
The East is on the line when the Bills visit the Dolphins.
That's the Sunday night game also.
That's the Sunday night game.
Yep.
There's also a scenario where the Bills could be eliminated from the playoffs with a loss and wins by the Steelers, Jags, and a Texans or Colts win. Jacksonville clinches the AFC South with a win at Tennessee. If the Jags lose, the winner of the Houston-Indianapolis game clinches the division, that game being played on Saturday. All right, so back here with Bryant McFadden, the AFC East is up for grabs in Miami next Sunday night. Bills hammered the Dolphins 48-20 in Week 4. Do you think it will be rinse and repeat?
No question. I'm not saying I expect to see the same score, but I think the Buffalo Bills will win in Miami against the Dolphins. And here's why. Buffalo, they're the more healthier team, right? Buffalo has been in desperation mode over the last 3 or 4 weeks, and they've been answering the call as well outside of that close loss to the Philadelphia Eagles. And since Joe Brady has become the offensive coordinator, we've seen a better Josh Allen. We've seen a better running game providing balance for the offense. And the defense, they just become a more opportunistic group making timely plays. And then when you transition to the Miami Dolphins, I mean, we're not seeing the same efficiency on the offensive side. We're not seeing the same splash plays surface for the Miami Dolphins. And now they're dealing with another injury in Bradley Chubb. Not knowing his status, of course, I'm hearing it didn't look good.
They're fearing a torn ACL.
So he won't be in the lineup, not to mention Jalen Phillips. You lost him weeks ago to an Achilles injury against the Jets. You're dealing with Jerome Baker not being in the lineup. It's so many guys. Xavier Howard was carted off the football field as well today against the Baltimore Ravens. So you talk about significant key contributors on the defensive side, potentially might not be in the lineup against a very, very hot-like offense led by Josh Allen. I don't know. I think Miami, they're starting to have some of their concerns surface in the wrong moments of the year, the more critical moments of the year, and that's not what you would like to have. So I like Buffalo understanding and knowing they've been in a Game 7 like mindset, Hakeem, over the last 3 weeks.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's a deadly team.
Bye.
Yeah, that's a deadly team to face when they've already been in Game 7. Either we win or go home, and that's the situation they're walking into Miami, and the same can be said for the Dolphins. So I like the Buffalo Bills.
Sunday night, I can't wait for that game.
They did a great job in scheduling that game.
You knew they were going to do that because that's the game. Win and you win the division. I mean, that's we've had that before, but I love that scenario as the Bills look to win their 4th straight AFC East title. In the AFC South, Jags beat the Titans, and they are chanced for a 2nd year in a row in that division. Jacksonville head coach Doug Peterson said Trevor Lawrence is doing everything he can to get back out there. So, do the Jags need Trevor Lawrence to beat the Titans, or is C.J. Beathard good enough?
I don't think they need him, but you would like to have him in the lineup to provide a sense of assurance, to say the least. In Tennessee, man, we saw Tennessee today against the Houston Texans. I mean, Will Levis went out the ball game. In comes Ryan Tannehill. It didn't get any better, right? They didn't get any better. But this is a divisional game, and you never know what could happen in a divisional game. But I'll take the Jacksonville Jaguars. Josh Allen was unbelievable today against the Carolina Panthers. The defense pitched a shutout. They have to play with the same mentality next week against the Tennessee Titans. The Tennessee Titans, regardless whoever the quarterback will be for the Titans, it's up to the defense to kind of weather the storm because we don't know the status of the quarterback currently. I expect to see Trevor Lawrence in the lineup, and I think if he's in the lineup, I like their chances, but they should be able to beat the Tennessee Titans without Trevor Lawrence. So give me the Jacksonville Jaguars.
If it's a big if the Jags lose, the winner of the Houston-Indianapolis game clinches the division. That game is on Saturday night. All right, same drill for you here.
Yep.
Take us through your AFC playoff picture. Who's in, who's out when Week 18 is complete?
Well, right now, when you look at the AFC picture, your beloved Cleveland Browns.
Yep.
They already have the 5th spot locked and loaded. So as we see it right now, right, that's what I'm picking. I have the Bills winning, which would give them the number 2 spot in the playoffs, AFC. I have the Browns at 5, Dolphins at 6, and the Houston Texans. I have them at 7 because I believe they're going to beat the Indianapolis Colts.
Okay.
That's what I'm taking.
Which would set up an interesting matchup here, right? You would have Chiefs and Dolphins.
Ooh.
You'd have the Tyreek Hill revenge game.
Ooh. In Kansas City.
In Kansas City!
And you would have...
I'm shouting because I'm excited to see that. Sorry.
You would have
that was wild.
Cleveland traveling to Jacksonville. You have to
they already beat them. They beat them a few weeks ago.
Then you would have the Texans traveling to Buffalo.
Yep. Oh, that would be that 3-6.
Now Miami, you know, I have no issue with Miami beating Buffalo because that would give a window for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Okay.
They just got to win against Baltimore. And
Baltimore's, I mean, it'll be Tyler Huntley and backups.
It doesn't matter. They beat Lamar Jackson.
I know. What I'm saying is, they're gonna hand them an easy pass.
I hope so.
Baltimore, because they don't want.
And I hope I'm wrong.
Lamar already wrapped up the MVP.
Yeah.
What he did on Sunday, he won.
And I hope I'm wrong with the Buffalo-Miami game because if Pittsburgh wins, they need Miami to win. And Pittsburgh play on Saturday.
They do.
That's the Saturday game.
It is. It's the first Saturday game.
So I have more than enough time to change my thought process with my playoff seeding in the AFC if Pittsburgh wins. If Pittsburgh win, I'm picking Miami to win.
Okay.
I'm sorry, that's what my heart is only right. You guys
a lot right? on the line. A lot on the line in Week 18.
Let's go.
Did you take a look at the notable
matchups? Are you
matchups?
not entertained, Hakeem?
They're all
Are you not
notable.
entertained?
Of course I'm entertained.
Look at this, man. Start off Saturday.
Look at that.
So then get this, with the Texans playing the Colts Saturday night. Jacksonville knows.
Pressure.
Yes.
The pressure is on the Jacksonville Jaguars at 1 Eastern
They got to win.
On CBS.
They got to win.
They got to win that. Because the winner of that Texans-Colts game is waiting to clinch the AFC South. They got to take care of business. Then Bills-Dolphins Sunday night.
Yes,
Here's a look at the notable NFC matchups. And they did this on purpose, the schedule makers, as you take a look at the Cowboys and Commanders and Eagles and Giants, both playing at the same
South
time.
At 1 o'clock, right? And then everything else happened at the 4 o'clock hour.
Bucs beat the Panthers. They're NFC South champs. Cowboys beat the Commanders. They're NFC East champs. And the Packers, they beat the Bears on CBS. They are in as the 7th seed in the NFC. Buckle up.
Make sure you watch the game where there are a lot of TVs. You're going to have to. That's a necessity for next weekend.
Multi-viewing pleasure.
Facts. Can we get there already? I'm like, it should be tomorrow. Like this.
Let's go. Let's go. Coming up, every single game on the slate with playoff implications. We'll break down the winners and losers from Week 17 next on CBS Sports HQ.